Hello, Williamsburg, James City County flute players. We're going to be playing with the head joint right now, so go ahead and make sure you grab and take out your head joint on the flute. I'll wait. We're going to talk about embouchure. We're going to talk about how to make a great sound, okay? So your embouchure on the flute starts actually without the flute itself. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to pretend like you're at a dinner table, and you're just going to spit some rice. Spit some rice onto your plate. So pretend you got a plate right here, right against your chest, and you're just spitting rice into the plate. Now, when you spit your rice into the plate, this is vital. You are not going to look down. You're going to keep your head up tall. Remember everything we talked about for posture. Also remember, you're sitting on that right corner of your chair if your chair is facing forward, and then you're turning your upper body slightly over. Good? So, hand against your chest, and I want you to spit the grains of rice. Good. Now I want you to pretend that you've got a plate on your table. Or maybe across the table. Maybe it's your sibling, brother, sister, cousin, somebody else, and you're spitting grains of rice across the table at them. And then you're not doing this. Your head's staying the same point. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit our mom from behind the kids, right? Mom, grandma, dad, anybody else. And so you got your sibling, and you're going to shoot the rice over their head without doing none of that. Head tall and straight. This is vital. This is vital to playing the flute. That is how big your embouchure hole needs to be. What do I mean by embouchure? Embouchure is the size of the hole in your mouth. You are not gonna do that. Just looks ridiculous, right? You're gonna put the flute up. See this part right here? This lip plate, all of this needs to touch your lip. All of it, even the very bottom, and that's the part that most people miss. You're gonna put what we call, so if you took your finger and you put it right here, call this hot dog in the hot dog bun, do the same thing here. And you're going to allow your lips to be natural. We're not looking ridiculous. That's not how a flute plays. Just normal. Look. Just like that. Now the other trick is finding the hole. So I want you to go ahead and try to make a hole. You can try saying but you need to make sure that when you say poo, that you are keeping the hole in your mouth just as small as that grain of rice, and you're shooting that rice down at your chest. Now, if you're struggling to get it, what I need you to do is I need you to find a mirror. And you can look at my face too. You'll notice that for me, my embouchure hole is not in the center of my mouth. It's actually slightly off center. Just like that. You need to experiment with left and right before we move on to this next chapter. Now, if you remember your breathing chant where we tap our foot and we go 2, 3, 4, off, perfect release, we're going to play that exercise together right now. Okay? So you're going, right? And we're going to count together. If you need to go back and find the placement of the flute, again, everything about playing the flute is all about lip placement. A couple tips. This inside part of the tone hole right here, that part goes right where your lip goes from skin to lip, right where it starts to become pink. Boom. And remember, if you roll in, this is not going to be touching your lip. Make sure the bottom of this is touching your lip. It's all sensory. It's all about what you feel, because you can't look at the flute while you're playing, which is why I encourage you to use a mirror. If your lip is too far in and you're not, look, this isn't touching my lip. We want it to touch the lip, but if it's not touching, that's what we want. We're going to do the breathing chant now, but with an instrument in our hand. 4 counts, stop. Okay? And remember how we release. We do not, it's just like when you stop talking. Poo. Poo. 1, 2, ready. We're gonna breathe in for 2. 1, 2. Good. Notice how my corners are down. My lip is touching the lip plate. Again, all of this area of the lip plate is touching my skin, my chin, or my lip. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our hand, boom, cover. For this one, you really need to aim down at your chest. Ready for a bonus challenge? You need to be able to hit all 3 of these notes ideally. Bonus challenge is the high note. How do we get the high note? Couple of things. One, you want to start aiming your air further out, like you're aiming at your mom. Without. And you also want to make the aperture hole as small as possible. Again, what does aperture mean? That's right, it's the hole or the shape of the hole that your mouth makes. You want to make it as small as possible, like we're making a tiny circle. Again, no bigger than a grain of rice, very small, circular shape. So we're bringing our corners in, but we are not bringing the corners up. Notice how the corners always stay down. Watch me. Low, high. You can also think about, too, allowing your cheeks to puff for the high notes. Not huge. We're not going, we're going. But notice how my corners do not change. Brilliant. We're going to go one step beyond now. So you've played those 3 notes. We have open, closed low, and closed high. And for that high note, play as loud as you possibly can. That's how you're going to become the best flute player in the state. It's much easier to take somebody with that kind of a sound than it is to take. More air is better than less air right now. Now we're going to learn how to tongue, because it's imperative you learn how to tongue, because you can't poo forever. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go poo too, poo too. Now when you say 2, make sure you find right behind your top teeth. You'll notice there's teeth, ridge, flat area. And you want to tongue right on that ridge, where that ridge becomes the flat roof of your mouth. Now we're going to do poo too. I'm doing all of this with the open head joint. I'll move my hand further away. Now we're going to do poo doo. Now we're going to do poo doo. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just do two at the very start. You can do that on every note. High. Brilliant. Are you ready for extra bonus challenge? High note with the open head joint. Ready? Here we go. Sound good? Brilliant. You can check the link in the description for a very special bonus challenge video if you want to go ahead and take all these skills and put them on the actual instrument without worrying about hand position yet. All of the same skills. I hope you are all doing well, and I hope that you are happy practicing some of these head joint exercises. Every head joint exercise can also be found down in the description, as well as an embouchure sheet intensely and detailing every single part of your flute embouchure in there. Practice the breathing chant still. Now with the flute, remember everything we do, posture, breathing chant, it all stacks on top of each other. It's like solving a Rubik's Cube. There's no point in solving one side of the Rubik's Cube if you're gonna go solve another and then completely ruin that first side that you solved. So keep solving more sides without removing the first part. This is like building a house or building an onion. It takes time, and there are many layers to it. See you next week.